March is Women's History Month, and KXAN would like to recognize the great contributions that women have made to our nation and our local communities. At the beginning of the year, viewers nominated nearly 200 women for our Remarkable Women Initiative. And throughout the month, we were going to feature stories of our 4 finalists. KXAN's Jennifer Sanders kicks things off and takes us to Dripping Springs to introduce us to Anne Drane, who's building a sustainable connection between Central Texas and remote villages in Africa.
About 30 miles outside of Austin.
Everything about it is good.
In a quaint Dripping Springs neighborhood.
But there's nothing about it not helpful.
Change for women all the way in Kenya is happening inside of Anne Drane's home.
I do absolutely love the black and white because it's very, very simple. And this is the fiber as it is raw.
Anne is a co-founder and CEO of the nonprofit Sawa Sawa.
It's one of those things you say all the time in Swahili. Means it's going to be okay, or okay, or equal, you know, sawa sawa.
It started as a hobby in 2014 when she moved to Texas from Kenya.
And I wanted a few things from home. So I told my mom, hey, go to the villages and get me the actual authentic Kenyan stuff.
She says the women from poor remote villages would walk for miles to sell their items like purses and jewelry to her mom.
They have such beautiful things that they make, and the skills have been honed for generations upon generations. So it makes no sense that they should be poor. There should be an outlet for their work.
Which birthed Sawa Sawa. Her home has become a warehouse for their work. Sawa Sawa helps the women perfect their beading and weaving skills in order to sell their products across the world.
When we started this, they did not have enough food to feed their own families. So it's so beautiful when you look back a few months and you see the new women you're working with are actually thriving and their children are going to school.
Her friend and board member Angelica Reyes Johnson knows just how transformative the work is.
So if you're able to provide a sustainable income to a female weaver, you're helping the entire village.
So let's travel more than 9,000 miles away just to see how it's done.
Every process is done by hand. They harvest the agave, they strip it by hitting it to a tree until the fiber comes out of it. They roll it on their thighs until it makes string. Then they dye it with onions or soot from the ceiling. And you see them turn that soot into the brown that makes the bags. And they weave everything by hand. It takes 3 weeks at least to make one bag.
Every color has a meaning and tells a story.
The orange is friendship and generosity. They use colors from nature to make such beautiful patterns, which is how they pass on messages and history of individual families. You can trace individual family lines with how they weave their bags.
Anne spent most of February in Kenya, helping nearly 100 women who are part of her organization. It's not just about the craftsmanship, though. Her nonprofit brings medical camps to the villages, as well as clean water and drought relief. Many of the women live near conservancies, and to get money, they might get involved with poaching, which has resulted in a dwindling elephant and rhino population. Anne works to prevent that by encouraging them to use their beading and their weaving skills.
If they have money and they're busy, they will not be out there working with poachers. Instead, they will want to protect the environment.
Money from her nonprofit also helps fund reproductive health education around Kenya.
We provide them with sanitary pads and underwear and things like that so they can have privacy and dignity and safety during their period.
Anne says she gets emotional seeing just how far these women have come. Anne will go.
It's me helping them realize solutions to their own problems, and so they can own those solutions and they can work hard.
Jennifer Sanders, KXAN News.
And Anne told us that her next goal is to get Sawa Sawa products in major retail stores while continuing to expand access and resources for the women she serves. Visit KXAN.com to learn more about their products and Sawa Sawa's mission.